Hi, it's Filo, and I'm finally here with a reading journal update. But first, let's unbox the last washi tapes that were very kindly sent to me by the Washi Tape Shop. All are pre-cut stickers, and you can choose the transparent tape like I did, or the traditional washi tape. They also have bundles with a discount, and in any case, you can always enjoy my affiliate discount code to save a bit more and support this channel. As always, I'll put timestamps in the caption with all the links to all my supplies and their corresponding discount codes. In this video, I'll use 5 of these washi tapes. I can't use everything at once. I'd love to, I just don't read that much. So if you'd like to see how I use the other washi tapes in future videos, you should probably subscribe to my channel. And now let's start with the reading journal update. Since my last update in May, I've read 4 books from 4 countries. So let me start with my favorite one, House of Glass by Susan Fletcher from the UK. I read Korag, or The Highland Witch, in January, and I loved her writing so much I decided to read everything she wrote. House of Glass has a very different setting. Here we're in England at the start of the 20th century, and we follow Clara, a young girl who grows up very isolated because of her fragile bone condition. But when she becomes an adult, she finds a job as a botanist in Shadowbrook, where her mission is to create an exotic garden in a glass house. Finally discovering the world and meeting people, she soon realizes the maids are nervous, strange things happen, and dark rumors are going about Shadowbrook. It was really well thought and smart, with the right amount of well-built characters and suspense, all in a strange atmosphere combined with ever-present flowers. Even if I guessed something, there were several mysteries, so I really didn't mind. And ultimately, it's about the weight of words and reputation, how we define others, and even see ourselves through the lens and words of others. So I enjoyed that it has a strong moral without being preachy, and it's sensitive without being cheesy. Susan Fletcher definitely knows how to write about everything that matters: identity, solitude and belonging, love and grief, generosity, all with spirituality and a profound hope. She writes characters who are brave enough to quietly be themselves, and these characters, as well as the atmosphere, are very reminiscent of Rebecca, Jane Eyre, or Villette, but it's still its own story and its own voice. So an easy 5-star. Here I completed this page with a dreamy dark blue ink from Ferris Wheel Press. I'm a part of their ambassador family, so I'm lucky to receive new colors each month in those cute little bottles. And this one is called Starlit Stories, and it has a super pretty purple shimmer. The second book I read was Chronicle of a Death Foretold by Gabriel García Márquez from Colombia. I read 100 Years of Solitude and No One Writes to the Colonel in the last years. Love his writing, so I try to read his books from time to time. And this one is very short, about 130 pages, but it's very original and it gives a lot to think about. So it opens on the morning after the biggest wedding the town has ever seen, when everyone is waiting for the bishop's visit and Santiago Nazar is stabbed to death by the brothers of the bride. The narrator reconstructs the events leading to the murder, so it's written in a journalistic kind of style with a bit of magical realism, and it shows the events leading to the murder from many points of view, but not in chronological order. So the story starts with the death of Santiago Nazar, and little by little you figure out what happened, why he's been killed, and who is responsible for his death. I love how he plays with time and symbols and superstitions. In a way, it reads like a Greek tragedy with a philosophical, even biblical meaning about faith and fate, responsibility and guilt, and ultimately moral values and decadence. The next book was The Storyteller's Secret by Sijal Badani from the US. The story follows Jaya, an American journalist who's going through a very difficult time and decides to travel to India to find answers to the mysteries of her family's past. So the story bounces between Jaya staying a few weeks in India and her grandmother's story when India was under British rule right before its independence. Given the title, I was expecting a lot of storytelling, but it's very underwhelming. And of course, I was also expecting a secret, but you can guess the secret after a few pages. It's too predictable, and it's not that secret either. I also didn't like the characters or the moral of the story, but I thought at least it could be a light historical fiction, the kind of book that makes you feel like you're traveling and learning stuff about another country, but it really didn't feel that well documented and realistic. So I know it's very popular on Goodreads, but whatever that means, but unfortunately it was a very disappointing read to me. Too predictable and light, a bit preachy too. And I'm still very interested in books about India, so if you guys have Indian authors' recommendations, please share them below. Here I used this new green ink. It's called Catnip Cafe, also from Firozsha Press. And it's nice and vibrant, so it matches the flowers and the romantic vibe of this page. And I combined it with a new fountain pen I got from Ellington. It's called Pure Clarity, and it even comes with a transparent case and an ink converter. I always go for the extra fine nib, but they also have fine and medium nibs depending on your writing. And this pen is a bit larger, but I really like how comfortable it feels to use. So after reading The Storyteller's Secret, I felt like I didn't want to stay with that aftertaste, So I went back to an Indian author I know I love, and I read Tales from Firozsha Baag by Rohinton Mistry from India and Canada. He's one of my favorite authors. He was born in India and he moved to Canada when he was around 23. His magnum opus is A Fine Balance, one of my favorite books, but I also really enjoyed Family Matters and Such a Long Journey. Tales from Firozsha Baag is a collection of 11 short stories, all related, all set in an apartment complex in Mumbai. It portrays different families in their everyday life, with their traditions, struggles, and dilemmas, with realism and a good measure of irony. To me, this collection does not match up to his long novels, but they're still nice little mouthfuls of his genius. I would not advise you to start reading Rohinton Mistry with this particular book though, because it's the one that requires the most previous cultural knowledge about India, but it was really nice finding again an authentic portrait of the Indian society, and I'm always grateful to Mystery for his insights on the human mind and the immigration experience. The collection concludes with a couple of partly autobiographical stories that I think crown beautifully both the collection and my experience reading his books. And that's it. Those are the 4 books I read since last time. So tell me if you've read or you want to read one of them, and share your recommendations in the comments. If you've made it till the end, leave me this emoji. If something caught your eye, everything I used is linked down below with my discount codes. And if you enjoy my reviews or these pages, don't forget to like and subscribe so that this video can reach more readers like you. I'll see you soon with another video, and until then, enjoy reading!